What if I told you that most cancers are not inherited? They're built one habit at a time. When most people receive a cancer diagnosis, the first question they ask is, did anyone in my family have it? As if cancer were nothing more than a genetic lottery, as if you either carry that card from birth or you're completely safe. This belief is both common and dangerous because research has been telling us something very different for years. The vast majority of cancers, well, roughly 80%, are linked not to genetics but to lifestyle. What you eat, how you sleep, how little you move, the years spent under chronic stress. These are not just unhealthy habits. These are damage quietly accumulating inside your cells. Welcome to 5 Minute Health. In just 5 minutes, you'll learn simple health insights that can improve your life. No long explanations, only useful things. If you find value here, subscribe for more. Let's continue. Here's something worth truly understanding. Your body produces abnormal cells every single day. That's normal. The immune system's job is to detect those abnormal cells and destroy them. In a healthy body, this balance holds. The problem begins the moment that balance breaks down. So why does it break down? The answer goes far beyond genetics. According to the American Institute for Cancer Research, more than 40% of cancer cases are linked to entirely preventable risk factors. So what we're talking about is not fate. What we're talking about is daily habit. Take a look at what most Americans eat on a given day. Fast food, packaged snacks, sugary drinks. These things don't just cause weight gain. Processed foods trigger chronic inflammation in the body, and inflammation creates exactly the kind of environment where cancer cells thrive. Long-term studies from Harvard show that high sugar consumption is directly associated with certain types of cancer. Sugar doesn't cause cancer on its own, but it creates insulin resistance to it, and that triggers the growth of harmful cells. Beyond diet, physical movement matters just as much. 8, 9, sometimes 10 hours sitting at a desk, then moving to the couch. This cycle has become the daily routine for millions of people across America. Regular physical activity is known to significantly reduce the risk of colon, breast, and uterine cancers. Movement lowers inflammation, strengthens the immune system, and keeps hormones in balance. You don't need a gym membership. Walking for 30 minutes a day can fundamentally change this equation. Sleep is another factor that gets overlooked far too often. Getting less than 6 hours a night is not something to be proud of. During sleep, the body's repair mechanisms kick in, damaged DNA gets fixed, immune cells regenerate. A lifestyle that regularly cuts this process short creates the conditions for cellular damage to build up over time. The American Cancer Society has highlighted this connection repeatedly in its reports. Then there's chronic stress. Rarely discussed, but deeply significant. Stress alone does not cause cancer, but chronic stress keeps cortisol levels persistently elevated. And when cortisol stays high, the immune system gets suppressed, meaning your body's ability to catch those abnormal cells goes down. A study conducted in Los Angeles found that individuals who worked under high job stress for years showed a noticeably higher incidence of certain cancer types. So does genetics play a role? Of course it does. But genetics only sets the stage. What you build on that stage, how you live, what you eat, how you sleep, how much you move, that's what shapes the actual story. The difference between two women carrying the BRCA gene, one developing cancer and the other not, often comes down to exactly this. Lifestyle is the variable that either strengthens or weakens that foundation. Cancer is a complex disease. There is no single cause, no single solution. But this much we know: the health of our bodies is the sum of the decisions we make every day. Small, ordinary, barely noticed decisions. What you put on your plate today, how many hours you sleep tonight, whether you take a 10-minute walk at lunch tomorrow. None of this is dramatic, none of it is out of reach. But over the years, these choices lead to very different outcomes. Have you ever noticed this connection in your own body? Tell us your experience in the comments.